What is up, you guys? This is Mini Superheroes Today.
Hey guys, today we're taking a look at this LEGO Avatar set that comes out January 1st, 2023. LEGO sent this for me to review, but of course, all thoughts are my own. This is the Metkayina Reef Home. I hope I got that pronunciation right, but this is going to retail for $80 when it comes out. You know, we've got this big reef home, as the set would suggest, 4 minifigs, cool little side build here we'll talk about, and let's get into it and see if it's worth 80 bucks. Okay, up first we have Ronal. Again, you gotta give me some leeway on these pronunciations, but this is a really great figure. This is, of course, the wife of the chief of the water people in Avatar, and the cool thing is the Avatar figures have tall legs and long arms, so put next to, let's say, this character, you can see that the, full adult Avatar people, the Na'vi, are significantly taller and have longer arms, and the water people have a more teal skin tone, whereas the tree people, of course, like Jake Sully's tribe, have a more light blue color to them. Here we have Tonowari, who is the leader of the water people. Definitely a great looking figure. Of course, he's got printing on the legs that travels up to the hips. Once again, we've got those long arms and long legs, and this is just a great figure all around. Not too much more to say about it, because it just looks that great. Here we have Neytiri. The figure looks absolutely awesome. She's got a little brick-built torch here. Got the long hair, as you can see, with the tail, and the long arms and legs as expected. And finally, we have Kiri. She has regular minifigure-sized legs and arms, but the Na'vi-style head. Of course, she's got a completely unique hairpiece, and she has a little paddle here, which will come in handy once we start to take a closer look at the set. Now, the first thing to talk about is this little side build. I love that the LEGO Avatar sets, particularly the Way of Water sets, come with these little side builds to help emphasize that the figures would be swimming underwater. Of course, it utilizes that little jumper piece that debuted in the LEGO DC CMF line a while back. But yeah, I just think that this is awesome and adds just a little bit of extra display and play value to these sets. So this is a unique set for the Avatar line in that it doesn't come with any sort of beast. Well, if you don't count these little fish. Most of the sets have come with some type of a native Pandora beast. So this is cool that it's basically just a location set, and there's definitely a lot of play value. So I think that if you really like the Avatar Way of Water movie, that this is a must-have set because, of course, most of the movie is set in this general area, and it just makes for a great play hub, and you could display all your figures on this. Just a lot of good reasons to have this if you like the movie. Now, we mentioned earlier that Kiri has a little paddle here, and that's because there's a detachable little canoe boat that you could put 2 figures on, so gotta have something to paddle with. And as we take a closer look at the build, you can see that there's a 2x2 jumper plate there that you can go ahead and attach the bottom to here for safekeeping. So that's very cool. We'll take a look at the stuff above the surface before we go under the sea, so to speak, but your character can walk off of there. There's a little walkway that can take them up into the living area, and as we take a look at that, I actually want to spin it around to show you it from the other side because it's easier to see the detail, but we got to talk about these big plastic pieces. These kind of make up the teepee tent style abode that they're living in, and it comes on like a big sheet, and you just punch these out of the sheet. It's super easy, and honestly, I don't know how you could build something like this convincingly with bricks, so I'm okay with it, and it does look pretty good all around. So now we're flipping it around so that you could see the back of the inside, and there's plenty of room for play in here. So let's actually zoom in. It's easier to see if we zoom in. So we've got a fire that is built up around this pole that holds up the center. So we've got a little fish cooking there. We've got some plates for having food. And of course, there's all kinds of open studs so that you can put the figures in various places. So it's definitely a great play set, like I said. And of course, it's great for displaying all of your Avatar figures in general. So we've got a little piece here that has like a pumpkin. I don't know what that's doing, but I don't know. I just like that it feels exactly like the movie, right? It's very lived in. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. And if we zoom out, you can see that there's a ladder so that you could have your figures climb down the ladder, and there's kind of a natural sea line built into this. If we lift it up, you can see, no pun intended, haha. But I think that that's actually pretty smart because if you just built this from like right here up, there wouldn't be a lot of context. And doing it the way they did allows you to have all of this cool underwater foliage under there, like all these pink leaves and coral pieces and the fish, and it just adds a lot of texture. Now, you'll see hidden around here, there are a couple of those jumper plates, so once again, you can have the figures swimming beneath the water and have figures living up top here, which is very cool. Now, just give it a quick spin so you can see all the details, but I really like what they did behind here. There's a little hidden area with a plant in there, and that piece actually glows in the dark, which is quite cool. So I think it's very awesome that this is built with play in mind. The only thing that isn't awesome, of course, is that $80 price tag. I can see a lot of people being concerned at that price just because it's so expensive and life isn't getting any cheaper out there. So my general consensus is that if you really, really like Avatar: The Way of Water, this is a must-have set because, you know, you get the figures, it's a great display value, and if you're like me, the figures won't stand up when you try to get them to. But yeah, I think that this is a worthy set if you really liked Avatar: The Way of Water. If you were just on the fence about the movie or don't care about Avatar at all, this is definitely an expensive set. Easier just to part out the pieces you might be eyeing for a build, but I do recommend it to Avatar fans, so that's very cool. And let's zoom out and I'll give you my final thoughts as we tie everything together. Alright guys, well let me know what you think of this set in the comments down below. This is a surprisingly fun build as we talked about, and I think it's pretty cool. If you like Avatar, it's probably worth 80 bucks. If you don't like Avatar, it's not worth 80 bucks. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.
Well, you made it to the end of the video. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and maybe check out one of my other videos listed here.